Hey, I'm Grady Amrine. I'm from New Canaan, Connecticut, and this is my 2016 BMW 340i. So I got this car back in 2018. Got it at when I started working my first corporate job. I knew I really wanted a BMW, but to be honest with you, I didn't really know what I wanted. So I was looking at the 3 Series and I just opted for the biggest engine it had, and it kind of just went from there. It really spiraled out of control. But yeah, so these are Volk T37 Ultra wheels in mag blue, which is a custom color they offer. It's basically like a navy blue. It's metallic as well. They're 19 inches. I just wanted to, I like the way 19 inches look. Also the M Performance brakes in here in red, which come with slotted and dimple rotors and slightly bigger rotors as well, which provides better heat dissipation, etc. And in the back, is actually slightly more important because you go from, on stock, it's got a single piston caliper, and then in the M Performance kit, you get a 2-piston caliper. So a little bit more stopping power and again, bigger rotors. So it's a pretty sweet kit for the F30. Definitely recommend it. Got some pretty big tires on there. These are 255, 40, Nitto NT05s. And in back, I'm really just kind of doing some testing at the moment. I've got a Federal UHP tire, ultra high performance. It's 285 by 35. I'm probably gonna go for Nitto in the back as well. I've been very impressed with theirs. The car is sitting on Bilstein B16 coilovers. You probably wouldn't be able to tell by this ride height, but it's because we've raised it up a little bit since I've got such a big tire, and the car also really squats under power. So these are they're called the black line taillights. There's a couple of different names you'll see from them out there. M Performance taillights, black line taillights. Basically, they have a clear housing. They have amber turn signals, and then they have the red LED halos, of course. And then we've got a bunch of carbon fiber parts. Got carbon fiber side skirts, carbon fiber roof spoiler, trunk spoiler, and probably one of my favorite carbon fiber piece is the Geeks diffuser. Geeks is a Chinese carbon fiber manufacturer, and they make all original stuff. It's all handmade. And if you come back here, it's hard to tell, but yeah, it's pure carbon, which is really nice. But yeah, and then this is actually connected to a AWE exhaust. So believe it or not, there's still a muffler back there. Smaller one, but yep. Still got a muffler back there. And I don't think I'm gonna take it off either. I like having a little bit of a different sound versus just straight piped. So yeah, what I've really put a lot of time into is the performance modifications on this car. So I'll start off by just describing what you guys see here, and then I'll talk more about everything I've been through with this car. So right here we have the Dock Race top mount turbo. That's a Borg Warner 9180 turbo specifically on there. And then right here we have some big oil catch cans because I tend to have a lot of blow by at 40 psi. And we've got our charge pipe up here, intake manifold. Under the intake manifold, I've got a port injection rail kit. And then right here, we have our cylinders and valve cover. Back here, we've got the Dorch Stage 2 high pressure fuel pump. And then over here, we have the Snow Performance meth line coming into the charge pipe. This is the Snow Meth 5-gallon kit, but I really only run meth for cooling. I try to not use it for fueling, so I have it turned off at the moment. Yeah, just for like those hot track days when you start to heat soak. Under here, this is where a lot of people will install their Motive Reflex controller. So yeah, that's my Motive Motorsport Reflex input-output controller. And so that controls the port injection, that controls the low pressure fuel pump, controls the meth kit, and the flex fuel kit as well. Yeah, you obviously can't tell from looking at it, but the engine is built. That was built by Tom Wrigley Performance over in the UK. It was actually his race engine that came out of the M240i, if any of you followed him. He broke a few records with it actually. It's got CP Carrillo pistons and rods, which is pretty standard for a B58 build. But then in addition to that, it has SuperTech valves and springs, ARP head studs, and then also cylinder head porting. So that gives it a little bit more volume. Not much, it's probably like 3.05 liters if anything. And then under that, it's connected to the Pure Drivetrain Solutions Stage 2 transmission. It costs a pretty penny, but you definitely need it when you're pushing power on these cars. Right now I'm in like the 800 wheel horsepower range, 800 foot-pound torque range. Believe it or not, actually, I used to have a different turbo in here. I had the Vargas GC Hybrid, which is a nice little turbo that can get you to like 500, 600 wheel horsepower. But unfortunately what happened there was I was using a different port injection controller called the AIC, which probably a lot of you know of. And it's a decent controller, but the issue there is that when it goes down, there's really no fail safes. And that's what happened to me, unfortunately. The controller ended up being defective, not exactly sure why. I was missing fuel from my port injection kit, which led to the cylinders going extremely lean. And then that led to a piston ring cracking. Definitely a lesson learned there. You can be really eager to kind of jump into it and push as much power as you want. But realistically, if I had waited for something like the Motive Reflex solution to come out, I probably wouldn't have blown my engine. The Motive Reflex is a lot more fail-safes, especially when you get the CAN bus version. Or actually even if you get just the port injection version. But yeah, it's got a lot more fail safes, and it's not going to let just one cylinder lean out on you. And just wanted to also talk about installs. Some of this work I've done myself, maintenance stuff I do myself, but the bigger stuff I like to give to a shop because it's nice to kind of have that professional accountability behind it. So my turbo kit, my engine swap, my trans swap, that stuff I relayed over to Shop CT in Stratford. They're a great shop, tons of resources, tons of knowledge. And good guys to work with. If you were looking to push power in the B58, you're definitely going to need to look at fueling solutions. You can either go with the TU HPFP, which is basically the second generation of the B58, the high pressure fuel pump from that system, which will give you a little bit of increased flow. And then, beyond that, you have your aftermarket solutions for high pressure fuel pumps. So you have Dorch, you have Spool, you have, I'm not sure if Fuel It has one. I think it's just Spool and Dorch at the moment. But yeah, you're definitely going to need a high pressure fuel pump. That'll get you some more power combined with a custom tune. In addition to that, if you want to do even more fueling, get port injection on there. You definitely can do that, but I would highly recommend pairing that with the Motive Reflex versus it'll come with the AIC controller for free. But again, as I said earlier, the Motive Reflex is much safer. So I'd feel a lot safer running that on a stock engine versus the AIC. Well, thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you liked any of the stuff you saw, head down to the links below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me as well. My name is 340i Guy on Instagram. Again, I'm Grady Amrine. This has been great with Calvary Road, and thank you.